The federal government has been urged to prioritize climate resilience and disaster preparedness as critical components of its national strategy to reduce flooding and protect vulnerable communities. This call follows recent flood incidents in states like Niger, Borno and Adamawa, where torrential rains and overflowing riverbanks have caused extensive damage, exposing gaps in emergency response and infrastructure readiness. Trust TV's Aisha Haruna has more.
From the flood-prone plains of Adamawa and Borno in Nigeria's northeast to Mokwa in Niger State, the story is the same. Environmental degradation, blocked waterways and indiscriminate waste dumping are pushing communities deeper into crisis. In Adamawa, hundreds have been displaced following heavy rainfall that overwhelmed already clogged drainage systems in Yola and its surrounding communities.
What is happening in this area, we don't find it funny. We don't find it funny, more especially when rain is coming. Even no matter where you are, so long as you see rain is coming, you don't have rest of mind. You must know how to come back home. Because if rain meets you outside, is a problem. It's a very big challenge for us living in this area.
Follow the government to come and see what is happening. Because there are a lot of issues that people raise. If you go around, when you are coming in, there is a bridge down there. Actually, you will see the road, the water there is blocked.
The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, warns that over 5,000 people remain at risk of further displacement as rainfall continues in the coming weeks. NEMA says the situation worsened by human activity, blocked water channels, indiscriminate tree felling, and poor waste disposal. In Borno, years of deforestation driven by insurgency, firewood harvesting, among others, have left the soil bare and unable to absorb water. With garbage routinely being dumped into drainage systems, flash floods are becoming both more frequent and deadly.
We lost
our homes after the devastating flood displaced us from our community. Currently, we have nowhere to go. I have a family. We are struggling to put food on the table. We want government to come to our aid.
In Niger State, recent floods in Mokwa wreaked havoc as torrential rains caused the river to overflow, submerging roads and sweeping through homes.
I was asleep when my wife woke me up, screaming before I could reach the door. Flood water forced it open and knocked me down. I rushed to save our livestock as water swept away homes. 35 of us had to break a wall to escape. Now, my family and I are scattered. Some are sheltered in a distant primary school. Though we received some relief, rebuilding our lives, especially in this economy, seems nearly impossible.
Experts say these disasters are no longer isolated as climate change is driving internal migration, forcing people like Muhammad and Idris from their homes. They expressed concerns over the escalating threat of climate-induced migration and its challenges.
Once there is flood, it destroys a lot of things. It destroys farmlands, which is a major source of livelihood to people, to Nigerians, for instance. And once that is destroyed, people will have to move because it also destroys lives and other property. So people have to move to temporary shelters or to other neighboring communities to host them. And like you know, those communities could not even get enough. And these people that are coming now become an overburden to the scarce resources that that community is managing. And that brews tension. And that is where crisis now sets in. And you start having communal, problem. And before you know it, that host community start migrating again, now displaced. And they are now called, the climate refugee. That is, though it's an unofficial phrase, but it's just used to depict the situation that people are forced to leave their communities as a result of climate crisis.
Desertification and land degradation have seriously reduced arable land. This is contributing to food insecurity, as we know, contributing to climate and conflicts. over scarce resources. So this rising temperatures and erratic rainfall equally impact on water availability, and this further strengthens communities and actually accelerates the level of displacement.
Dr. Michael further said, Nigeria is currently unprepared to address the climate-induced migration, noting that there is no specific policy which tackles the link between climate change and internal displacement of people. He stressed the need for governments to invest in early warning systems.
At the immediate term, government needs to invest, heavily in early warning systems. It shouldn't just be once in a year or once in a while that we go on air to issue, seasonal weather predictions. We need to do more by downscaling to communities. The emergency preparedness should be actually at the community level and not just coming to the media in Abuja to read statistics.
Each year, more Nigerians like Muhammad and Idris are displaced not by war, but by worsening weather. Their stories underscore a growing global emergency, one that demands urgent local, national, and international action. To safeguard its future, Nigeria must prioritize climate resilience, strengthen disaster preparedness, and ensure no one is left behind. Aisha Haruna reporting for Trust TV.